for more than a decade. The showers in the locker room of the Penn State football team, several top Penn State University administrators failing to report suspected child abuse.
A graduate student testified he discovered Sandusky sexually abusing a boy estimated to be 10 years old. The student reported it to Penn State's head football coach, Joe Paterno. Paterno said, in part, it was clear that the witness saw something inappropriate involving Mr. Sandusky.
Joe Paterno is no longer the head football coach, effective immediately.
Not only did not report that incident as required by law, but they also never made any attempt to identify that child.
Paterno told the athletic director, but at no time did he call the police.
I don't understand how someone could do that.
I don't think I've ever been associated with a case where that type of eyewitness identification of sex acts taking place where the police weren't called. I don't think I've ever seen something like that before.
Did not report that incident to law enforcement or to any child protective agency. First reported by a victim in 1998.
In 1998, he made admissions about inappropriate contact in a shower room, Jerry Sandusky did, and nothing happened and nothing stopped.
They, too, didn't report the incident to law enforcement or ban Sandusky from contact with children at that time.
Their inaction likely allowed a child predator to continue to victimize children for many, many years.
This is not a case about football. It's not a case about universities. It's a case about children who have had their innocence stolen from them, and a culture that did nothing to stop it or prevent it from happening to others.
And when you read the headline to this case, to this story, the first two words are Penn State. So I'm on campus here. You can't come on campus and not sit down and figure out how all of this is impacting the students here. I did that. I went across the street over to Irving's Coffee House and sat down with 5 undergrads, including one of whom is a relative of mine. And we talked about this case, this story, and what it's done to them. Take a listen. So here we are on campus at Penn State University at Irving's Coffee House, a place where students hang out. And guess who I bump into? Well, actually, she met me here. My cousin, Brianna, is here with some of her friends from Penn State. And obviously, you guys, thanks for sitting down with us. And the world is watching Penn State. How about that? That feels kind of weird?
Yeah, crazy.
A little bit. Well, here's the first thing. And this is a scandal. I mean, people call it a scandal, sex abuse scandal, child abuse scandal. Who do you blame for this?
The bottom line, Sandusky, he's the one who started everything. He did all this, but then there's so much more that it branches off to at this point.
Luke, what should Penn State do here? At this point, is there a responsibility for administrators to do something, professors, the students? Who should be doing what?
I think right now, a bulk of the responsibility lays on the students, because I think a lot of people are watching us to see how we're going to respond, because really we were the ones that were let down by the actions of people above us. So now it's up to us to, I guess, reconcile those actions. So I think the world is waiting to see how we're going to respond, and hopefully we'll come back positively and show the world what it means to be Penn State, and that what Jerry Sandusky did is not Penn State.
The candlelight vigil, I think, was a good way to show that, when all the students came out, that was very ad hoc. That wasn't something that was previously planned, or it was really just done through Facebook and things like that. At the football game, when all the players from both teams came out into the middle of the field and had a moment of silence, all that stuff is based on the students.
That footage that we all saw, I mean, it's right here on College Avenue, and thousands of students. I mean, the Penn State riots, they're calling it. Were you there?
I went out to chant Joe Pa's name peacefully, but I don't support the breaking of things and the flipping of cars and things like that, so I headed back in.
Explain to me where you were as all this is happening, and what you're thinking as, this riot is breaking out.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking is that the students, it's a natural reaction to show their support for Joe Pa. I mean, this university is what it is today because of him. He's an icon here. So he's like a father figure to us, and I think it's a natural response for students to go out. I don't think Penn State's about breaking things and turning over cars, and that's what's really giving us a bad reputation right now. We need more things like the candlelight vigils, the prayers, blew out at the football game to support the prevention of child abuse. Things like that are what is really going to make our university look good right now.